Greetings, gorgeous guys and glorious girls, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle featuring spawning in the south. It is going to be the Vermax forces of none other than AndresTC, who of course has featured many times on the channel and is just a ridiculously skilled and very fun to watch Vermac player. Does branch out into OKW from time to time, but yeah, he's definitely just got the moves like Jagger when it comes to the Vermac. And spawning in the north, playing as the United Kingdom forces, it is going to be SLOTM's Zorro S.A.S, who I'm probably just going to call Zorro because there's a lot of stuff going on in that name. But yep, a fresh player to the channel, and he's got to be some kind of good if he's getting matched up against Andre, one can only imagine. So we ought to have quite the spicy game for you here. Buckle up and enjoy, because yeah, should be pretty awesome. Let's see, whilst these two players just kind of get their initial skirmishes underway and start the battle in earnest, I will just take a moment here just to say, sorry about the lack of uploads over the last few days. It has just been a really hectic and busy week, and one of the things about casting is it eats into your gaming time. This is just like a thing that happens. It's like you can only have so much time when you're sat at your computer, you know, with like free time. So you either spend it gaming or casting. And in the last like week or two, there's just been a load of really sweet games that have come out. So my casting time has been eaten into by the gaming rather than the other way around, which is rare, but it does happen. So what have we had? We've had Titanfall 2, which has been absolutely boss and dope. And we've had, oh yeah, the new DLC for The Division, the Survival DLC. Which, by the way, okay, I am a neophile. That means that I like new things, and it's especially true in gaming. So, for example, Battlefield 1 has just come out, but I have not bought it, and I don't really feel like I'm going to buy it. MG off going on between these buildings, BT dubs. And I don't really feel like I'm going to buy it because it's like... I can't see any new ideas there, so the neophile in me is not satisfied. It looks like every other Battlefield I've played, just with a World War I skin, which, like, I could be wrong, but until I'm actually proven wrong, I just have no interest in that game, basically. Whereas Titanfall 2 is actually doing a load of new things. Like, there are some cool new ideas in there, which make it exciting and fun and new to play. So, I've been really enjoying Titanfall 2. Now, Tom Clancy's The Division, like the latest DLC, it's awesome. It's like the imagine playing the entire of Diablo from level 0 to the late game in an hour. Only you're doing it competitively against other people. For those of you who have ever played Talisman, the board game, which is kind of a classic, and I hope some of you have, it's a lot like playing Talisman. Like Survival, the Survival DLC is just like that. Anyway, suffice to say, the developers, who I believe are massive, shout out to them on The Division, have just done some awesome things, and it is just a ton of fun to play. And like I say, it's actually new. Like, it is unlike anything else I have done in gaming before, which is just like, bing, Magpie is happy. So anyway, that's how come I've not been casting. Now, I fired it up today, and I was just like, if there's no good players in the lobby, I'm going to cast a replay from the inbox. If there are good players in the lobby, I'm going to cast a live game. There were good players in the lobby, as you can see. Andre here going to be forcing back these Tommies. And so yeah, I've decided to stick around and cast live. So let me see exactly what's going on here. So it looks like the British player has gotten off to a horrendous start. I haven't really been focusing like a massive amount. He hasn't lost his Vickers. Has he lost a Tommy squad somewhere? No. I guess this is just how British players look when they've had to pay for a tech building and their expensive units. Looks like for AndresTC, he's gone immediately for the Elite Troops Doctrine, which I have to say, this is like a divergence that he's been going for more and more recently. The AndresTC of old would always go for Mechanized Regiment, but AndresTC of new is occasionally dicing and slicing with the Elite Troops Doctrine. So I've seen him be really good with the stun grenades. I've seen him just do good things with this commander, so I have faith here, but I do not think that this is the strongest Andre. I've yet to see him look as strong with the Elite Troops Doctrine as he did with the Mechanized Assault Regiment. And like, the thing about the Mech Assault Doctrine is like, the way Andre used it, it was just like it was a 5th faction or something. It was just, or a 6th faction, I should say. It was just kind of crazy. He just like knew that doctrine so well and rinsed absolutely every last ounce of value out of it. So it was pretty cool. Anyway, looks like Zorro is going to be capping up over here in the east. Got a few points under his belt, fuel, VP, etc., but not connected right now. So reaping no resources off of this. Just going for the VPs. Andre at the moment is fighting a slightly skewed battle line. Let me crack the tack here. And you can see, so he's kind of like got his units spread out at the moment. Nothing over in this side of the map. Actually, no, I take that back. This is some grenadiers up in a building right now, being idle for the time being. So Andre's going to grab this VP. He's going to grab a fuel point, get his backfield in order, hopefully here momentarily. And then let's check the tech here. So still no sign of Battle Phase 1, actually. Interesting. So maybe he's going to go for another squad before he gets that one out. Of course, for the British player, the platoon command post has long been finished, and we can see evidence of that in his unit roster. Of course, the Royal Engineers are here. Now, one other thing I do have to mention as this battle goes forward is my keyboard is experiencing all kinds of distress at the moment. A couple of the keys were feeling like really, you know, like fluffy, like they needed dusting, so I popped them off, but the left Alt key, I have managed to like slightly bend the plastic so it no longer sits on the switch beneath it, which means every time I use the left Alt key, it gets stuck down. So I cannot rotate the camera because the right Alt key does not rotate the camera in this game. It brings up player names. Look at that. Woo! Player names. Okay. So, yeah, I cannot rotate the camera. I mean, I can rotate the camera, but by doing so, I am committed to only rotating the camera for the rest of the game. So I'm going to save that for a really important cinematic shot, I guess. Because if I press the left Alt button, it will get stuck down, and the only way of unsticking it that I've found is to pull the key off the keyboard and then gently push it back in. So that's not really a good thing to do. Anyway, looks like we've got a nice little fight here being taken by Zorro. Yes, it's on the doorstep of his base, but I like the concave of units. Whoa, this Vickers gun actually just getting slaughtered in the open by Grenadiers in cover here. That was horrendous. I did not think that Vickers was going to get cut down to size so quickly. It's okay in a way because he's going to be able to grab that back, I imagine. Looks like he might do that right now with the Tommies. And this other Vickers over here on the left is still hooning away. So these German forces are under no small amount of fire here. But it looks like actually Andre going to take the fight with 2 squads of Grenadiers and a squad of Pioneers. Okay, they had a Flammenwerfer against 2 squads of Tommies and 2 Vickers guns. My money would have been on the Brit forces there. Pardon me, most times for sure, but anyway, that's pretty cool. Stormtroopers just now getting spawned out, and they are going to be on the field now. Looks like Panzerschreck is going to be the upgrade of choice for Andre here on that unit, so he's going to have some AT here moving forwards, and I do like that. He has to anticipate that the Brit player may be going for an AEC. Having said that, though, Zorro's had issues connecting any real resources this game, and Andre right now, with a chokehold on the cutoff, going to be delaying that AEC. AEC research is done. Oh, this is so frustrating for the British player. Now, what is it, 60 fuel? Yeah, so he's just going to have to wait like almost a minute at 7 fuel per minute. Like, oh, this is like at least going to be a 40-second wait unless he can grab another point just to get the fuel for his AEC that he's already researched. So Andre here is doing genuinely excellent delaying work here. This is really sweet. He's actually damaging his opponent's tech considerably. And then look at the resource differential. It is G-Rose! So nice work here from Andre, liking what I'm seeing. Here comes the next Brit wave coming out from the base as I take a sip on my tea. And, yeah, Andre here tightening the noose in glorious fashion. Now, these Grenadiers are going to have to give way. They are taking rather too much fire. The Pioneers, likewise, on the right flank, they're going to have to get back. This is going to enable Zorro to grab a bit of ground, and you can see that now happening here. Looks like, man, this double in the open Vickers style is, like, breaking my head a little bit. This is crazy. But, I mean, I guess if it works, I'd quite like to see Andre actually bring in a GR34 mortar team. That would be quite nice right now, because he has his opponent in a terrible place. And I think with the mortar, this would just be untenable, you know, fighting in the open like this in a very static fashion, which is what Zorro is going for right now. Oh my god, look at in the west, Andre just fully pushed up as well. He has quite the stranglehold on this game. Looks like a unit here of Pioneers even going to grab this munitions, and that's going to be turbo annoying for the British player, who's just, like, recently been able to put the AEC on the queue, but this is such a delayed AEC. And, oh my goodness, I feel like he just missed that AEC by like 10 fuel, and then that 10 fuel was just like horrendous. Stun grenade going to come down here, but awkwardly the Stormtroopers kind of got into the building and managed to stun grenade themselves there. That was crazy, and now they're getting hooned down by double Vickers. They are on no health. I do hope Andre realizes this. I don't think he does, and he does! Gets the Stormtroopers out on a pixel! Oh, that was so close. That was actually just so close. Here comes some Tommies going to try and push away these Pioneers, and that they should do, so the Pioneers ought to fall back. And it looks like Zorro here is actually slowly but surely reclaiming some of this map. He's like just inch by inch, and it is a very slow like process here. He is getting further forwards. Now here comes the AEC. That should be enough to push these Stormtroopers back. I'm actually amazed that he's committing this AEC into their range, because here comes the next Panzerschreck round. Biff! And now that's already annoying, so I don't quite understand. I mean, this AEC basically provided no value over the 2 Vickers that were already hitting the Stormtroopers in this building, and was just kind of opening itself up for a Shrek hit. It's not going to do it again, is it? I don't know, because those Stormtroopers are still in the hood. They could get back into this building. Looks like they are going to get back for now. These Pioneers are just getting absolutely wailed on. They're going to get out. There we go. Wow, what an interesting game, though. All the fighting, pretty much, been on this screen for the last couple of minutes, at least. So that's kind of exciting. This AEC, though, This is a really mobile unit, and Zorro just refusing to utilize that fact. The AEC is really good because it's so mobile. So right now, if I was him, what you want to do is just range out on the left here, grab a metal detector on your engineers, send engineers, Vickers, and Tommies, plus the AEC onto the left flank. Everything else can try and just continue making Andre keep his units on the right flank, and that way you actually get something done out on the map. Now, that's a command glider? Yep. So we've got Vanguard Reg, by the way. That's going to be the pick. Vanguard Operations Reg. So the command glider coming down in a really weird position. I mean, I guess it's almost the only place he could land it, but I mean, it's not where you want to land it, really. I mean, it's so far back that the forward fallback point, which it comes with, is almost useless. And it's also not far enough. I mean, this is quite easy to threaten with just a Pack Gun or a Panzer IV, so it's not even that safe. And you do kind of want to keep this building alive, because it does give you the option to produce commandos and medics, which is like not trivial. And you know, even if it is a slightly forward fallback point, like that's relevant as well. Anyway, this Vickers gun is just getting hung out to dry. The fallback comes down, but yeah, that will be too late. 2 squads of Grenadiers, MG42 and an LMG42 on one of those Grenadiers is just enough DPS. And there's going to be a free Vickers here from Andre, who absolutely is going to rush forward and grab that. Now, looks like behind all this, Zorro has moved out with 4 units onto this flank. So actually, almost taking my advice, yeah. Royal Engineers, Tommies, and instead of a Vickers, which he's lost, he's going to send in the Forward Air Landing Field Officer, or FAFO, or FALFO, I guess. So the FALFO here are going to come forwards and do some work. Now, this is one of my favourite units in the game because he has this, like, on-me stim ability. Yeah, here we go, the Officer Charge. And it just, like, stims him and everyone near him. And players seem to forget that this is a thing. Like, every time I seem to use that ability, it seems to just absolutely reap rewards and break my opponent. And, you know, it's just really good. And I think people forget. When you see the Forward Air Landing Field Officer, you have to remember he can, like, stim all infantry near him. And what does it do? Yeah, it makes them move faster and fight harder. So I'm pretty sure it does up their DPS. It certainly seems to. I'm pretty sure that they just go into, like, stim mode. And because they can move so quickly, it's just great. You can just, like, overrun your foe, run up there, throw a few gammon bombs, which, by the way, the Forward Air Landing Officer just comes with, the light gammon bomb anyway. So it's just nice. I really like the air landing, the FALFO. He's cool. More Stormtroopers going to be appearing on the roster here for AndresTC, who is leaving it perilously late to get any kind of a Pack Gun. Now, I know he has 2 squads of Stormtroopers, and I imagine he's just thinking that a Shrek for now is fine. I suppose there's only an AEC on the field, but this AEC is beginning to be annoying, and one Shrek is almost never going to kill that AEC, unless you also get like a mine hit or a Faust or something into the equation. So this AEC for now is just going to be free to parasitize kills, and you can see it just chewing into this Vickers gun. Oh no! What was that, a mortar? Was that a rifle grenade? Oh god, I think that was an absolutely savage rifle grenade. I didn't hear like the bink of it firing, but oh no, that Tommy squad just got hooned. And now, like, what is this Vickers doing? This arc is like so inappropriate. Yeah, okay, it's catching the Grenadiers, but like, really, that arc? That's not really what I'd... Okay, and there's also a 6-pounder here. Okay, Zorro's army just in disarray here. He's got nothing going on in the east. And, he's just kind of taking awkward fights over here in the west with, like, basically superior units. Stun grenade comes down onto the Vickers. That's pretty cool. The AEC is about the only thing going for Zorro in this fight, because it's just constantly chipping damage in and doing okay here. Everything else, like... Okay, the Vickers is finally repositioned, and this is much more safe now. Anyway, looks like Commando is going to be the choice for Zorro. Panzer IV going to be the choice here for AndresTC. And this has just, like, been his style recently. Like, this is the same style I cast of him using the other, like, just recently anyway. Like, I feel like it was, like, a week or 2 ago on the channel. Bing, grenades. Yeah, so he just seems to, like, play a much more regular Wehrmacht style, using elite troops, and then goes into, like, Panzer IVs, and usually multiple. So, we'll have to see. I think it's going to work a lot better this time, because Andre's field control has been so good. This Panzer IV is a little earlier than some Panzer IVs. It's still not a turbo early Panzer IV, though, by any means. Anyway, here it comes, and that is going to be problems for the UKF player, who basically has the AEC and a 6-pounder, both of which are kind of waddling away back to the base at the moment. Andre is showing no signs of giving way on the right flank. MG42, Grenadiers, Pioneers, all in the hood there, present and correct, defending like champs. Right now Zorro really doesn't actually kind of have anything going for him, does he? I mean, he's got commandos, and they're just sitting here in the base. He's down to 200. Andre with the heinous triple cap this game. And, yeah, this is absolutely not going Zorro's way, is it? I feel like he's just been way too passive and has not used any of the, like, any of the Brits' innate, gritty, annoying units and abilities. Okay, here comes some commandos. They're going to come forward here. They are on hold fire, though. There we go. They're going to start peppering these pioneers, but they're not really close enough for their stupidly heavy damage. And here comes the Panzer IV. Biff, going to start taking some shots here. And, I don't know. I don't want to call this one early, but this actually could just be over here. Andre's just looking absolutely brilliant. Okay, Panzer IV here getting a touch cocky. 6-pounder and AEC. Oh my god, he loves it. He's going to come forward for more. That's 2 6-pounders, actually. Panzer attack gets used, but the AEC can flank here. So let's see. Is there anyone around to Faust this AEC? No. So the AEC is going to get one more shot into the side of the Panzer IV, and that is actually going to be a KO on the Panzer IV. So, I mean, that was just kind of needless there from Andre. I don't really see what the real benefit was from pushing so hard in was. I mean, maybe he just really wanted to get that command glider, but I mean, even that, it's hardly worth it. Whereas a Panzer IV is quite the prize, and that will be what AndresTC gives up there. Zorro here going to be able to pick off his opponent's fuel choice. And that's a big swing. That, like, erodes considerably the advantage which Andre has given himself by, like, maintaining such excellent map control. So that is a problem. Now, oh my goodness me. Okay, finally. Okay, so a big fallback here. 3, probably going to be 4 units here, going to be having to give way to the army of Zorro here. And that might open up the left-hand side of the map, but certainly it should open up this point here for being captured by Zorro. These pioneers just being so annoying. Trading to the last for maximum damage with a Flammenwerfer in heavy cover. Oh, God. Trading against expensive Tommies as well. This is so dire. Finally, the Falfo comes forward. He's going to push them away. But now there's a Vickers gun here. And AndresTC is not going to let Zorro take back his cutoff. Once again, relentlessly crushing his opponent into the mud here as Andre. Oh, my goodness. 2nd Panzer IV just seconds away from being on the field as well. So this game looks to be firmly in Andre's hands here, and just kind of has been almost since the start. Damn, Andre, you're some kind of monster, aren't you? He is a nasty, nasty player. As I take a sip on my tea here. I mean, what are you really going to do? Can these guys do have the gammon bomb, don't they? Yeah. Oh, I always forget that the commandos have demo charges as well. Oh, such fun if you ever have enough munitions. Gamma bomb actually coming through off the commandos. That is going to force this Vickers back and enable the commandos to overrun onto these grenadiers who are going to bravely try and stay and fight. That is a high DPS unit to try and stay and fight, though. So the grenadiers are going to fall back. Panzer IV's in the hood, though, and that's probably going to enable enable Andre to push these units away again. 6-pounders coming up, but they're too far behind. AEC still not repaired? Oh my god, this thing just like a heap of smoke with a broken engine. Just, oh dear, that AEC not feeling the love right now. And, oh no, MG42 just hooning out this window, and I don't know. I think this game may just be a story of skilled player beats unskilled player, which does happen sometimes. You know, sometimes we cast games where all hell breaks loose and nothing makes any sense, and sometimes we cast games where one player is just better than the other, or just having a better day than the other at least. And I think this is one of those games. Andre here has just been like firmly on top of this one. Commandos here are going to do what they can, and they might actually, no focus fire coming down onto the commandos is a bit dangerous. Light gammon bomb comes through, but that is going to be pretty much a miss. Commandos are forced to GTFO. Panzer IV comes around the rear here by coming around this hedge. The Vickers gun is going to be forfeit here. There he goes. He's going to die. And this is when you GG if you are Zorro. I think that was your last hope. So, Zorro, we're waiting on you now, buddy. Although I suppose if there's only 23 tickets left, you might as well stay to the bitter end, stay to the curtain falls, stay till the fat lady warbles, stay till the cigars are lit, or whatever, all that stuff. And that he's gonna do. Wow. I'm racking my brain here. Like I'm just like, what's the message here from this game? I guess the message is, if you're Brit forces, you can't afford to let the German player, like, grab this line here, and if they do, then you probably need to switch to a mortar pit. Like, on this map, I honestly don't mind a mortar pit being built, like, here, because it gives you so much range over, like, a lot of relevant map. It will be firing for, like, most of the game if you just put it here, and it's actually quite hard for the Axis player to pressure if it's this far back, assuming you're not, like, totally losing. So, anyway, yeah, possibly a mortar pit would have been okay, yeah, for Andre, just a fantastic game there, I guess. I mean, he was just on top of that. You could tell his micro, his game sense, like, he was just on top of that game. He was all over that game, so Very nicely done there from Andre. Right, well, I'm going to hop back into the live games lobby, seeing as how that was such a snappy one. See if I can find anything else that's spicy. Yeah, I guess that concludes this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and of course, stay tuned for more casts coming soon. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I think I'm going to be casting some Homeworld Deserts of Karak on the Saturday, which is tomorrow. So I'm still waiting to hear about timings and stuff like that, but what we were hoping to do is maybe cast the Artifact Cup in a slightly more live manner. That was going to be fun. So anyway, as soon as I actually have any concrete news about that, I will be up on the Twitter, up on the Facebook, which by the way is a thing, facebook.com/magpiecaster, I think it is, and Twitter at magpiecaster. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and this for now is Magpie42 signing out. I've pressed Alt. Oh no. Oh no, I hope that has that actually, oh no, are we still casting? Okay, so my keyboard is stuck and I am unable to stop this cast. Hang on. Alright, okay, pro casting skills, now we can do it. Okay, and this is Magpie42 signing off flawlessly without a hitch.